हेलो फ्रेंड्स, दिस इज़ ताबिश अहमद। आज हम लोग देखेंगे, हम लोग डिस्कस करेंगे प्रोग्रामिंग अप्रोचेस के रिगार्डिंग। सो बिफोर गोइंग टू explain programming approach, first of all I would like to introduce the evolution of language in terms of 1GL, 2GL, 3GL and 4GL and 5GL. 1GL means first generation language, that is low level language, machine language. Second generation is your assembly. Third generation assembly or a C++. Third generation, which is known as high level language, is basically Java, .NET, PHP, etc. 4GL language, which is very much close to the English language, is your SQL, structure query language, which is a language for RDBMS software, relational database management system software. Currently we are having 5GL, fifth generation language, means artificial intelligence. We are entered into the era of AI, so that kind of language is known as 5GL. Okay, now come to the point that programming approaches. प्रोग्रामिंग करने के लिए हमारे पास कई सारे अप्रोचेस होते हैं, ओवर विच टेक्नोलॉजीज़ बनती हैं। दैट इज़, हम एक लैंग्वेज बनाएंगे तो उस लैंग्वेज को डेवलप करने से पहले हमें ये सोचना होगा कि which kind of approach will used by this language, or yeah, we can say by this language. तो pop, op और object based, these are the three philosophy in programming language or program language designing. So first of all, if we will discuss over the POP, that is full form is procedural oriented programming. The example is C language. C language is procedural oriented programming language. In C language, we are not much concerned over data security. That is how data is defined. We cannot protect data to access anyone. For example, the basic problem in C language is we are having global data presence. Due to the global data, is if suppose int x equal to 10 is a data which is present globally, then that data can be changed at any time. There is no security over it. That's why it's known as. But what is the objective of POP based language is just over the work. The work should be done, or output should come whatever the way, और कह सकते हैं कि डेटा के साथ क्या होता है डजेंट मैटर, आउटपुट जो हमें लेना है वो आना चाहिए. दिस इज द मेजर फिलॉसफी ऑफ पॉप बेस्ड लैंग्वेज. टॉप डाउन अप्रोच मीन्स the execution of the program is directly sequentially, that is entry point to the other. However, there is no layer to hide one modules to other modules. This is the this happens in pop. Yes, of course there is a modular programming. Modular programming is done by using functions. The small unit of program which is under the curly braces and having the some name with return type is known as functions. Functions you can understood as subroutine, or a function is used for to break a big problem into the smaller units. That's why we used functions. So of course modular programming is done using functions. Message passing is done using functions. Now come to the OOP, object oriented programming. Here this language this philosophy, OOP based language, for example C++, however, not purely it's a OOP based language, but if I'll talk to the Objective C or a Java or a .NET or a C Sharp, these are purely object oriented programming system based language. So what happens in object oriented programming system, we are major focus over the data security. That is, we are giving some kind of protection level to the data. In OOP, we will give generally in three ways: private data, protected data, or public data. We will discuss in we will discuss later what are the private, public, protected. It's use bottom up approach, that is hiding layer by layer. That is, first of all, it's focus over the data, then data will hide, then data is present in some entity. There is also member functions or methods which is that will be also present in some entity. So basically you will have to interact with the entity in order to passing the message to any functions or access any data. You have to interact directly to the entity, not direct method accessing or direct data accessing. You cannot directly access data or methods. So that is meaning of bottom up approach. Of course, modular programming is done using methods. Methods and functions are same, but the difference is due to the approaches. When a when a subroutine is defined outside the class or without in class, then that subroutine is called functions. When a subroutine is defined inside a class, then that subroutine is known as methods. You know, the first condition is everything written inside the class. I will tell you what is class and object. Now there is also one approach which is outdated now, is known as object based, that contain two features of OOPs: abstraction and encapsulation. The example is ADA. We will discuss what is abstraction and what is encapsulation when we are going to discuss the features of OOP. Now basics of programming. In basics of programming, we before going to program anything, you have to first of all start make a plan. For example, if you are going to do a project, you must have to create a plan first, then you will have to do the operations, right? For example, if you are going to teach someone, you must have to plan first what you are going to teach today. That so a basic plan you must have. That plan is basically a blueprint to to complete the work. So in programming, we must have to create a blueprint of the program, okay, how the program will execute using any language. So so we have to create certain rules. So that rules in programming is known as algorithm. So algorithm is a set of finite rules to perform an operation. That is, in algorithm we are having a starting point and an ending point. That is very clear cut. That algorithm must define when you are writing algorithm for any problem, then in your algorithm there must be clear starting point and clear ending point. Second point, you must have to be clear every steps. That is, your steps will be finite and sequential, like 1 2 step 1 step 2 step 3 step 4 and end, or start step 1 step 2 step 3 and end, like that. Now flowchart. Flowchart is the graphical representation of algorithm. For example, if I am writing algorithm in the fashion, for example, I have to add two numbers, I will say start step 1. Step 1 is input and a number, input a digit or a numeric, whatever it be, input a digit. Second step, input first number, Step 2 will be input second number, right? Then you must have to write a logic. Step 3 store value as num1 plus num2, right? Display. Step 4 display the val, right? So, and finally end of program. So this fashion you will write. So here you are writing in your textual format these programming steps for the adding the two numbers. These steps are known as basically algorithm. So the same thing we can do in a graphical manner using flowcharts. In a flowcharts there is a ellipse. Ellipse define starting point or ending point. Right? Then you must have to use rectangle to take an output. Then a rectangle for to take an input or output. The rectangle for logic, and hence finally you are having ellipse for the ending point. This is what known as your flowchart. Dry run attitude. This is what a programmer must be addicted of. Dry run attitude means making the plan chart of the program on pen and paper. You are not going to type the code. Basically you are creating algorithm or a flow chart. That flow chart or algorithm can be given one terminology as a dry run. That is, you are giving one by one certain value in the paper and seeing how the program will get executed. And now you will come to the point ki, yes, whatever I am thinking, this will give the same output. And in this fashion, then you are starting coding onto your particular editor in a particular language, and then it will work whatever expected. Dry run gives you a facility to thinking thinking inside your instruction. For example, if you are writing the instruction, so you must be very clear for what purpose I have written this line. You should not remember anything, because in programming, if you are having the addiction of the mugging up, you won't become a very good programmer. So you must be very good in just using a dry run attitude. Programming syntax is just a grammar. It depends upon different languages. In the next lecture we are going to see what is examples of C language in hello world, or variables or expression, etc. In the next lecture also we will discuss few tricky questions asked in frequently asked in interview. So thank you very much for this session.